Hey, what is going on, you guys? Welcome to CCxRC. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the Reefs RC Crux tires. I'm running them here on my Vanquish RC carbon chassis kit that they have, and it's a pretty stellar rig, and we're running up at Reaction RC. This video we're going to kind of do in a little bit of a podcast style format. I recorded the video about a month ago, but there was a lot going on at the track as we were having a competition and other things, and so it was quite loud there. Oh, I just rolled it. So it was quite loud there, and I wasn't able to record any audio, and I knew I wouldn't be able to, so I was just hanging out chatting with everybody and giving these a bit of a shakedown. I'd already run their cheater tires and was very impressed with the grip, and I kind of was like, well, those are definitely going to be the ones that I leave on the wheels that I plan to run on this truck. However, I was more than surprised with how the Crux tires handled and the amount of grip that they offer. I thought that the cheater tires with the kind of the knobby look was going to definitely be better, but I don't know. I was very impressed, and I'm still just running stock foams in both just to get them out and give them a test, but super duper impressed with the traction that I had with these. Here I'm just kind of hung up on the Lexan body was the issue there, not even the grip. So it's really more about finding the right line to unstick myself. But overall, I felt like sidewalls were decent on these for side healing. And here I'm moving tracks with it. One of my buddies was with me there that night. So this was like February 1st, I think, when I shot this video. And I wanted to get to some of these hills because I knew that this back corner had some pretty tricky lines that used to be difficult for me to handle. A couple things changed. You know, some of these reviews are hard to do, and I wouldn't even consider this really a review. These are just kind of real-world testing, because the vehicle that I have is built so well that it does things better than any truck I've ever had. And so you're changing small aspects of it, like the tires, which, small, it's kind of a big deal. Tires is a definite performance thing with these rigs. But when you're going from like one good tire to another good tire, it might be a small increment. So I felt like the landmines that I typically run do pretty good. And then switching to those cheater tires by Reefs were amazing. And now switching to this Crux was like kind of like what am so the difference that I'm feeling here and seeing. I thought the cheater ones were definitely going to be the comp tire that I'd want to run because it's definitely like a cheater tire. But these Crux ones, they have the look, more traditional look as far as the lugs and the way that they're sipped and cut and all that. They have that nice sidewall bite as well. I honestly think that the Crux would be my go-to now. So, as I'm saying here to the person in there, how grippy they feel. Shockingly, I thought with the lugs, I'm not usually a super huge lug kind of a guy. And the pattern on these are pretty tight in some ways. But I was super impressed with how they handled, and we have a lot of dust here as well, just that's kicked up. Look at the speed of that Reefs raw 400 LP that I'm running in there. That thing is insane. I run a lot of raw servos in my comp trucks because I like the speed of them when I'm just running them straight off of my receiver, which is how I typically do it. I don't ever hook up my servos to battery power or secondary power that way. Just never been something, I love simplicity. I love, it's just the way I've done it. And it's just like one more thing that I don't have to think about is charging the battery for my servos to run and different things. So for me, the experience is just better that way. And I know a lot of people would disagree with me, and that's fine. I know that they can get more power and different things by hooking up to balance leads and different things. Now, I will say the one that I do have to do that on is my CCx6 because it's such a huge servo. And so we've got that one hooked up, I think, to the balance lead off the battery direct. So if I remember correctly, I think that's how it's set up. Anyway, yeah, it's pretty impressive. This line that I'm trying to go up here right now is pretty difficult. This hill has some pretty gnarly undercuts and different things as far as the different approaches up it. So there's some easier ways and there's some harder ways. And, you know, we've had gates set different ways that have kind of showed me, okay, this is a really hard way for me, because when we have to go that way because of gates, it's very obvious how difficult it can be. So we've got some smooth rocks up there, and so it's just right here trying to find some traction. I can feel it getting the bite, but I'm also on the skid plate. Anyway, overall impressed with these. I do right now in front of me have on my desk their new XP compound, which is their pink dot. And these are supposed to be even stickier and grippier. The email, what did the email say? I'm going to pull it up because we're doing this podcast now. Engineered with Reefs pink compound for more grip, control, and stickiness. So now they just dropped these other ones, and I will say with my tires I do vent them all so that I want them to flex and that type of handling. So you can see them kind of squishing a little bit and forming and conforming around the rocks. So that's just the way that I like to run my tires, is what I do. That's why we make the inserts and all that for the 24 scale, because the rigs aren't as heavy and we want them to be able to conform. We make them almost like there's nothing inside them, but then you need sidewall ability. So anyway, super impressive tire, and thanks to Reefs RC for sending these out for me to test out and try out. And we'll be coming back at you guys very soon with the XP compound. Have fun RC, and we'll catch you next time.